So, research design. The research design for this study is primarily quantitative research aimed at examining the relationship between labor force participation rate LFPR and gross domestic product or GDP in the current US dollars in the Philippines. Quantitative research is defined as a systematic investigation that primarily focuses on qualifying relationship behavior or phenomena, allowing for statistical analysis of data. This design is chosen because it provides a structured approach to understanding the impacts of labor force dynamic on economic growth, utilizing numerical data to yield measurable results. In this study, descriptive research is utilized as it seeks to outline the characteristic of the population being studied and describe the relationship between the LFPR and GDP without manipulating the variables. Descriptive research offers a comprehensive overview of trends in workforce participation and economic growth, making it suitable for addressing specific research questions about how these phenomena interact over time. So, our research is designed to study the connection between the labor force participation rate or LFPR and gross domestic product or GDP in the Philippines. To do this, we're using quantitative approach, which means we'll focus on numbers and data to analyze the relationship between these two factors. This method helps us look at how workforce participation affects economic growth in a clear and measurable way. We're also using descriptive research, which is all about observing and describing the data as it is. We won't be changing or manipulating anything. Instead, we'll study patterns and trends in LFPR and GDP over time. So next is data and data sources. This study will utilize secondary data derived from several refulative sources for quantitative analysis. These primary data categories include the labor force participation rate or LFPR and gross domestic product or GDP in the current US dollar. The data can be found in appendix. So for this study, we'll be using data that has already been collected by trusted organization. This is called secondary data. We're focusing on two keys of information. So first is labor force participation rate or LFPR. The LFPR data was collected from the World Bank and the International Labour Organization, ILO. The data is available annually encompassing a range from 1991 to the latest available year 2023. The time frame is chosen to provide comprehensive overview of labor force trends in relation to economic performance. Labor force. This is the percentage of people actively participating in the workforce. We'll get this data from the World Bank and the International Labour Force, so ILO, covering the year 1991 to 2023. So the second one is gross domestic product or GDP. Data will be obtained from the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund, the IMF. Similar to LFPR data, GDP figures are available on the annual basis from 1960 to 2023. Having this data sets covering the same temporal range ensures consistency and facilitates a coherent analysis for the relationship between LFPR and GDP over time. By utilizing these secondary data sources, the research aims to maintain high reliability and validity of the study. So, gross domestic product, this measures the total economic output of Philippines in the US dollar. Will use data from the World Bank and IMF, which spans 1960 to 2023.